You had your chance and then you blew it.
That is the most absurd statement of the year.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, baby.
I'm in my zone, I'm feeling it.
Live from West St. Paul Studios, it's time for MinneZona Sports Live with DJ Matty C and Paul the Shield Vold.
And this is MinneZona Sports Live. We are back for our 5-year celebration. Let's go. Let's go. We are back 5 years ago. We sat in a different studio. We sat and did a show where we brought back the Sports Zone, now MinneZona Sports Live, and we are back to give you episode 224, the 5-year anniversary. I am your host, DJ Matty C, a.k.a. Matt Callahan, a.k.a. Callie, a.k.a. Matty C, etc., 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 and all the way in Granite City Studios in St. Cloud, Minnesota. Paul Vold, Shield. What is going on there, Shield?
You know, it's hard to believe that it's been 5 years of the program. And, of course, we started show number 1 with this exact ensemble right here. I got my Washington, quote-unquote, Redskins hat, my Case Keenum Washington jersey. And here we are 5 years later, still doing it. And you know what? Shout out to the commies as well for getting a big dub over the weekend over the Detroit Lions.
Right, Lions. And with that being said, too, the commies, Jaden Daniels looked good. Honestly, the whole team did. Defensively, everything like that. But
Yes,
we'll get into that a little later because we got some business to take care of. And as you can see, yes, we do have Mikey Ryan back here on the show, but it is not for Minnesota Vikings talk. It's actually to pick who the heck's going to be winning some signed mini helmets for MinneZona Pick'em. So, Mikey, welcome back. Unfortunately, the other Mikey must have just fell asleep.
I don't know.
We don't know. He's a Lions fan, so we got that going for him.
Probably in
Still licking
desperation.
his wounds. Yep.
He's pretty peeved
Crying in
about
the
Aaron
corner.
Glenn, Ben Johnson being gone, the whole deal. So
Williams,
yep,
He just
that's
left.
true. That's true.
whole coaching staff getting picked up.
That's right. So the whole coaching staff is all picked up. But Mikey, we welcome you again. You did some voting. We're going to be doing our Zoney Awards shortly after this and whatnot. But Mikey, you have a choice to make. Obviously, our winner was Mikey Lawrence. Claps out to him. He was really good with pickles.
He was hot.
I mean,
Yeah,
was
he
going.
was.
We had no idea who Mikey's Fresh Crepes was, Voldy, for the longest time. We had no idea who it was, and then you found out it was Mikey Lawrence, and we had Mikey on the show as well for our Granite City Lumberjacks special. And we had a great chat, and he is our winner, technically. So he will be getting somewhat of a Zona bundle. He kept winning every week, for goodness sake. It was impressive.
He's got enough. He's got enough.
He's got enough. So yeah, we got that going on. We got the Zonies tonight, obviously. And then we're going to do some quick tater tot hot takes tonight, Voldy. Just to keep it cool with the zoners and whatnot.
Yeah.
And we're going to be making our conference championship picks. We'll quick do that. Voldy's got ARA for us, so there's a lot that's happening tonight. We got a lot of things going on. So with that being said, Mikey, we would do Wheel of Names, but I feel like since Mikey Lawrence is not here, I feel like we got to give him his. What's that?
He'll be fine.
He'll be
Just
fine.
get him whatever he wants.
All right.
Just
So
give Mikey Ryan whatever he wants with it.
Yeah, there we go. See, I like that.
You show up, you get what you want. This is how the world works. You put in the effort, you get rewarded.
that's right. That's right. So Tyler Herman, who also was second place, he has made his decision. He could not be here tonight, unfortunately. But he has made his choice. I gave him his choice since he's the one that's sending him out. I was like, all right, which one do you want to keep? So there are three choices: Drakelondon, Breecehall, and terelldavis, NFL legend running back Terelldavis. So he has made his choice, and it is in fact Drakelondon. So congratulations to Tyler for holding on to it. He doesn't have to send it anywhere. That's fine.
Exactly.
So Mikey Ryan, you have the pick. What are you going to pick for the signed helmet? Breecehall or Terelldavis? What do you got?
It's a tough one, but I'm gonna leave this. I'm gonna leave it out of suspense. I am going with the guy who saved John Elway's legacy. We'll go with Terelldavis.
Yeah.
All right, I like it. I like it.
I knew.
Very
I mean,
nice.
it makes sense. You want to go with the legend longevity. Breecehall had a great year. Don't get me wrong, but the Jets
Great
were a
couple
train
years.
wreck,
Yeah.
as we all know. Depending on what they do in the offseason, it'll be interesting. But they have a coach. But yeah, Terelldavis. That's a great choice, Mikey. Great choice.
Great choice. Great choice.
Tyler, we will be in contact with Tyler. Obviously, Mikey will send over the address to me, and then I'll send it to Tyler. He lives in North Carolina, so might take a little bit, but does not mean that we're in dire straits or anything. You will get it, and it's going to look cool. And trust me, he showed me those. Showed Voldy and I those.
Yeah. That's
They're
why
sick.
I wanted the Breecehall one, because it's sick with their new helmets and everything. Yeah.
Oof, it is pretty
Missed
sweet.
out on that, though. Yeah.
But Mikey Lawrence will get the Breecehall signed one, which is great, too.
Not a bad consolation, though.
Yeah. There's really no going wrong with those, to be honest with you. So
There's been worse ones, I'll say that.
there's true. That's true. Could be like John David Booty or something, you know.
Hey,
could be your
even
favorite.
that wouldn't be bad. It's all
Yeah,
about
that's
the
what it'd be
story.
bad. I have
about
his
the story.
signature. I do. I have it. I have
The
it.
worst one would be Troy Williamson, probably. That would probably be the worst one.
Oh, wait. No, I got a better one. Sean Payton. Sean Payton would be
Ooh,
yours.
okay, that one would just be terrible.
No.
At
Either
least
one.
The Troy Williamson one would be funny, you know.
Yes, that
Now
would be
we can
funny.
laugh at it 20
Now
years
we can.
later. You know?
That's too good. All right, so before we get started with the Zonies, I know Mikey's got stuff going on, so I quick want to ask you, and then we ask this of the Zoners too if they want to chat, and whatnot. Mikey, the Minnesota Vikings have finally done it. They have brought back KOC, multi-year extension, claps all around, skull, the whole deal. Your
Huge.
quick thoughts on the extension. What do you got?
It's the best move the Vikings could have made. It would have been as worse as the Herschel Walker trade if we let him either walk or we did like a sign and trade deal. You have to lock him up. He's produced, what is it, 13-4 and then 14-3 with one bad off year when, we had all those injuries at quarterback and God knows what was going on there elsewhere. But it's a great move. Now we really have to, and I talked about this last week as well, this offseason you have to solidify every position. You have to solidify the offensive line. You have to solidify the defense. And then you have to make a huge decision at quarterback. You're tying your coaching career basically to this guy, right? But it's a fantastic move, I think, whichever way you go. I like his scheme. He gets good people around him outside of the 1 year with Donatel for a DC. But there's not much else to say. It's literally like I don't think the Vikings have had this good of a head coach, I'll say, since Bug Grant, essentially. Like, it's been that long since we've had someone who gives me this much aspiration to be like, okay, we have the correct coach to actually get us and possibly win a Super Bowl.
So the next thing I will say here, too, is Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah's in talks right now to get his done as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something to keep an eye. Obviously, I think that'll get done relatively soon. Could have even happened during this show. Who knows? But no, I agree. But one other thing I want to ask you, though. There was one person that said on the social medias, he goes by the name of Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk. He said there was tension between KOC's team and whatever agent he's got and the Wolves.
Right.
Do you take it, or I got into a little spat. I've given my thoughts on it. Him and I went back and forth a little bit. But Mikey, I mean, do you think there was tension between these guys or what?
I cannot imagine that there was. I don't know where Florio, and granted, I like Mike Florio. Some of his content he puts out there is good, and he's well respected in the industry. So I assume he got it from a reliable source. That reliable source must be smoking something. Like, I can't imagine there be having that much tension. Like, the only tension I could possibly think of is like, I just am hating that we're talking about this. Like, it's going to be a done deal. You just have to let it go through the process. This happens with coaches all the time. There's like a 1 year deal left, and it's like, okay, you're going to get extended unless you completely just like let the team go and go 0-17 pretty much at that point. But I think it's just fabricated to get some storylines. In my opinion, someone out there was just like, we need to talk about something about the Minnesota Vikings that isn't just like, what are we going to do for the draft? Because you have to talk about that for the next 4 months anyway. So.
Illuminati.
Yep, exactly.
I
knew it. Illuminati, man.
Let's
Anytime
go.
things are going good, media knocks Minnesota down on its ass. Every time.
Exactly.
Illuminati.
Exactly.
It's true. We got some congratulations for us here, gentlemen. We got the Kerf Doctor. What up, Kerf Doctor? Yes, sir. He says, cheers to 5 years, gents. Thank you. And we got Lucas Christopher, our guy. He's been a loyal zoner throughout it. 5 years. Let's go. That's right. Let's go. So, for all the people that have tuned in here, obviously, Mikey, you've given your votes. We will let you know if you've won Best Guest, things like that. So that whole kit and caboodle. We'll read off what you said from memory and all that. But we do have a surprise for all the zoners out there tonight.
Yes, we do.
There is something that Voldy and I have been talking about in the past year, I would say. And Kerf Doctor knows this too, actually. Mikey was aware of it last week. I think we mentioned it to him. But we had a couple of ideas. And one of those ideas was, what better way to celebrate 5 years than doing something, kind of cool. And possibly, add on to the legacy that is One MinneZona Sports Live. I mean, take a look at this merch. I mean, good Lord, you got, the hat, the quarter zip, the whole deal. I mean, we can't thank you guys enough. So we decided, we made a decision. We talked to the Kerf doctor, his sister, Kelsey Kerfman, who has done a phenomenal job. We can't thank her enough for making, obviously, the MinneZona logos, things like that. So we asked Kelsey if she would, do something for our 5 years. So not saying this is our new logo, but in celebration of 5 years and our thank you to you guys, we unveil the 5-year logo, baby. There it is.
Look at that.
Look at that. Look at that,
beautiful?
man. And here's the thing, guys. It's not done yet. It's not done yet. We're not even done with this. This is a little taste, and she is working on the final thing for it. So we show this logo, and it's like, well, it's just a logo. What are you doing with it? You guys are getting some merch coming your way. That's right. Voldy and I have been talking, and we are working on some ideas to get you guys some cool merch, and obviously we'll give you all the details and things like that as the season goes on, as we go into season 6. So just wanted to reveal that before we get into the Zonies, and it looks like the people love it. Lucas says, ooh, I like that. He likes it. There's going to be more to it. This is the great thing about this. There's going to be more to this badass logo. So thank you to Kelsey Kerfman. I mean, she's a master at this, man. I mean, it's unbelievable what she's done with this logo, and she was grateful, or we're grateful enough to have her do it again. So claps out to her. We appreciate it. So with that, Mikey, congrats on the terelldavis signed mini helmet. I assume Tyler will get your. I'm pretty sure I got your address. I'll send it to Tyler. Yeah. We'll get that all worked out and whatnot. And terelldavis coming your way. So,
I'm excited.
Yeah. Anything else before we hop off here and let you go enjoy the rest of your evening? What do you got?
I don't have much. I put it in the notes, but again, I want to thank you guys specifically. It's been a great 5 years. It's another 5+ years down the road for sure. Ever since you guys have been doing this since, 2015, 14? I can't remember the exact year.
14. Let's go 14.
14, we'll go with 14. It's been a blast. This has been the place where I come for the Minnesota news and takes for sports, because sometimes I don't get time to listen or look at social media and do anything like that out of the time, except when it comes to the Vikings. I usually keep up on that a lot of the time. So I appreciate what you guys are doing. Just keep rocking at it. You guys are doing great.
Appreciate that, Mikey. And I can't tell you how much fun we have when you're on. Yeah, there you go. I love it. I mean, just all the takes that we have, the rants that we've had on the show regarding our favorite Minnesota team and whatnot. So we'll let you go. Have fun with bowling. Get a turkey, the whole deal.
I'll try my best. It's been up and down right now.
There you go. So, all right, man, we'll talk to you later.
All right, see you guys. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. We'll see ya. All right, with that being said, it's time, Voldy. It's time for the Zoney Awards. I just love this time of year because not only do we get to reveal best guest, absurd statement, things like that. This year we decided to not do awards for the segments because, to be honest, all the segments are great. I mean, what's there to complain about with the segments? I mean, they're all
true.
Great.
This is very true.
So there's not a whole lot different, but I will say, usually we start off with those and then we move our way in. But we're starting big here, Voldy. We are starting big. But we're going to go through a couple. So what I want to do is I want to go through a couple MinneZona memories because I feel like we got to wax and nostalgic a little bit. because, you know, we want to reminisce with our zoners and things like that. And people have put in their names and whatnot. And let me tell you guys, there are some interesting ones, I will say. There are some interesting ones. So we start off, so we'll kind of just go in a row here. First one is Voldy. Voldy is the first one. Isn't that something? The first one, he says, announcing that Sarah and I were going to be parents for the first time. Yes, that was
awesome.
Epic.
That was fun.
I remember Kerf Doctor. This was in Studio A. It was me, you, Kerf Doctor, and you announced it. Me and Kerf were like, what? Like, I was shut. My face was like, what?
You guys thought I was leaving or something. Yeah.
I know. I was like, wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah.
That was one of my.
That was not the case.
Yeah. Is that a pun intended right there?
Maybe not. I don't know.
Case Keenum, Case Vold, same deal.
Same difference.
That was one of my favorites as well. I mean, the thing is, there's so many too, and this one's probably top 5 for me as well. Case has been here since the inception of the show. I mean, it's crazy to think about, and Tate obviously and whatnot. So and if there's any memories, if you didn't get to it, you can also put it in the chat too. So feel free. All right, let's do one more, then we'll do best Minnesota team. The next one is he must be so happy. You see, Mitch Ribby, that guy. He seems to be feeling pretty good about himself right about now. Ben Johnson, head coach, Bears, but that's a whole nother deal. Let's see what Mitch has got. Ranting about Eberflus and Waldron. That was a good one.
Out.
That was honestly one of the funniest things. And we have that as a clip if you want to check out our social feed too on Mitch ranting on the Bears. That was enjoyable. I had a great time with that one. So we'll keep doing more after we go with after we do best Minnesota team and all that. So all right. Best Minnesota team. So the zoners had a choice of the Minnesota Vikings, 14-3, or if you want to count playoffs, 14-4. They made it to the wild card round. Very good season, very fun season, I would say.
Which I predicted.
Which you did predict correctly too. So claps out, most approved statement.
Sam Darnold, comeback player of the year.
Yeah, well, yeah. The thing is do they need, or are they going to do that? They're going to let him. That's the question.
See, that's the thing. No, unfortunately, they changed the rule of basically saying just because he sucked last year doesn't mean that you can be comeback player of the year. I guess it takes a serious injury or you dying on the field for that to be considered. So all comeback players of the year, go ahead and start tearing your ACLs and, dropping dead on the field and then coming back to life, obviously, in order to win comeback player of the year. I'm just saying the rule itself is stupid because of the fact that Sam Darnold should be comeback player of the year. But we're trying to keep things light and happy here. Back to the show here with the Zoney Awards.
Back to the show. Hey, it is what it is.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
That's right. The Minnesota Wild, 39-34 last year, missed the playoffs, unfortunately. The Minnesota Timberwolves, 56-26. They are playing right now, and they are down by 6, but it's still very early. So we got that going for us. They reached the Western Conference Finals. Unfortunately, lost to the team that they're playing right now in the Dallas Mavericks. But that was fun. That whole playoff thing was awesome. And then I had to put this up here because they are part of Minnesota sports. The Minnesota Twins, 82-80, and they missed the playoffs. And we'll have more on that in a second because we've already kind of given the spiel on them. Yeah, absolute nosedive. If anyone voted for them, I'd be very peeved. Just saying. The Minnesota Lynx, 30-10, made the WNBA finals and got screwed over by those WNBA refs. Just saying. I could see them winning as well. And then the PWHL Minnesota. At the time, now the Minnesota Frost, 35 points, 8-9. And they won the whole thing. So
right.
there's a lot to be said with this one. All right. So let's just get right into it. We'll go with places. I won't give any votes away or anything like that. But coming in fourth place, which, I don't necessarily agree with, the pwhl Minnesota team.
No respect.
I thought that would be the one. They won it. I mean, they're part.
Won the whole thing?
They won the whole thing. I'm just saying. Then coming in third place, the Minnesota Lynx. Minnesota Lynx, 30-10, made the WNBA Finals. This one I thought was going to win too. I mean, I thought it would be neck and neck, but apparently not. And this is the Zoners. This is their choice, and we got to respect it, right? Mm-hmm. We have a tie. We have a tie for first place. Of course we do. I know it's crazy. Like I said, we gotta figure out tiebreakers at some point. It is a tie between the Minnesota Timberwolves and our Minnesota Vikings. People might think about this, and obviously we are the deciding factor since this is kind of since it is a tiebreaker, and we host the show, the whole deal. So, Voldy, my vote is for the Minnesota Timberwolves. It's surprising, but they got farther. They won 2 playoff series, got to the Western Conference Finals. Yes. You got to give Ant, Cat, all the guys on that team that year all the credit. So I got the Wolves. Who do you got?
Yeah, just looking back at 2024, I would definitely go towards the Timberwolves too, with all the moments that they had. Of course, the growth that they had as a team to not only win a playoff series, took down the defending champions in the Denver Nuggets, then got past, of course, the Phoenix Suns, and then ultimately falling short in that, I believe it was 6 games it went to with the Dallas Mavericks. So my vote is for the Timberwolves too.
So, let's go. That is our winner. The best Minnesota team in 2024, the Minnesota Timberwolves. So that means the Wolves have to win tonight. So that's the whole deal there. So, congratulations to the Wolves. They've never won it before, and this is their first time here on the show. So, all right, let's do a quick couple memories here. We got Cassie Slater, who's very big fan of the show. She wore some awesome our sweatshirt in AZ. So make sure you check that out and whatnot. And then she said, real quick, getting to see a good friend and doing what he loves every week. Oh, this is that cool. Also repping the merch across the country every once in a while. I mean, you got to. I mean, you have to at this point. So, here I'm going to explain the sports clown of 2024, and we will we'll kind of keep it and we'll give the whole deal with who is on it and what we need to address with it, because we do in fact have a winner for this one. The choices that you had are those damn pohlads. Obviously, I wouldn't fault you if you didn't take that one. The WNBA referees, obviously, I think it's more towards Game 5, but apparently they were bad the whole year. And Mike Zimmer had some choice words for his former team before the season. We talked about it earlier in Season 5 of our show about how he was being a clown and just ripping everything Vikings. The next one is Tyriquestevenson. He was a clown this year, mocking the Skull chant when the Bears had no chance against the Minnesota Vikings here this upcoming season, because it was a sweep. Another one, Angelreese. There has been a lot of controversy surrounding her. She said some things that I think you probably shouldn't say, things like that. There's a lot going on. And we have 3 former ones that have been on here for a long time: Antoniobrown, Draymondgreen, Seanpayton. You know the deal with those. So let's first start off with let's go with fourth. Okay, so fourth place. In fourth place, it was a 3-person tie. So Mike Zimmer, Tyriquestevenson, and Clowntonio-Brown got a vote this time around. So they tie for fourth, and so they got a couple votes. We do have a tie for second. For third. We have a tie for third. Now we have a tie for second. Angelreese and those gosh darn pohlads, those damn pohlads, they tie it up, which is crazy in itself. But that's what we got. We got Angelreese. We've got the damn pohlads tied for second place, which means we have a new sports clown Voldy for
crazy
2024. It is not Draymond Green. Last year was Draymond Green.
It was Draymond.
Clown himself, Dan Snyder's won this award. Urban Meyer's won this award. Skip Bayless has won this award. Our new clown of the year, or clowns. The WNBA referees, Voldy. The WNBA referees. Yes.
Way to go. What a job.
It could very well be a lot of things besides that, because not only was there's controversy with the foul calls at that Game 5, but the commish wearing the New York skyline, things like that, the WNBA losing money, and what the hell happened, right?
And somehow all of this is Caitlin Clark's fault. We'll just put that out there, too.
Yeah.
Somehow it is still all of her fault.
No blame on them. Oh, we wanted the Liberty to win.
Clark's
they got
fault.
the mainstay. Yeah, it's a bunch of BS in my opinion. So congratulations or not congratulations to the WNBA referees. So we will send out your dustpan and everything like that, because you need to clean up your act.
Boom.
There you go. So a couple more memories we gotta read off here. Our next one, it comes from J-Man, Jared Doyle. Appreciate him. He says his favorite is talking sports with Matt every SMSU crew event, but specifically at Trevor and Katie's housewarming party. So, yeah. J-Man, we have a lot of good talks. We've talked about a lot of Vikings, a lot of Twins, Wolves, the whole kit and caboodle. It's always a joy talking with J-Man, especially when he tunes in. He does a great job as well. So he's getting married in March, just FYI.
Oh, wow.
So
That's coming up quick.
That's coming up. It is coming up. So hopefully the snow is not a factor around that time. But we'll find a way. All right, our next one is Lucas. Our guy Lucas Christopher. We appreciate you, my guy. He says, anytime you bring Cole on. What? You're kidding. No. Not him. Anybody but him. I'm joking. The thing is, he's been dunking us, man. I go, what do you got going? I got some.
Life happens
Listen,
like that, man.
It is. No, it's true. I just like giving him hell about it. It's like, dang, man, you want to talk Wolves? He's like, I got to get on. Okay, when you free? Come on, man.
Yep.
So thank you to Lucas. One more here, and then we're gonna do. The next one I think is most absurd statement. So that is our next one coming up, and our next one here, Devin. Our good friend Devin. She still is a Chicago Blackhawks fan. She still loves Patrick Kane, the whole kit and caboodle. But we love her for it. She says, so proud of you for following your dreams and your dedication to Minnesota sports. Cheers to 5 years, boys, and we cheers to you, Devin, as well. So thank you very much.
Miss her.
We will. We talk here and there, obviously. We'll send snaps and whatnot. We're big fans of Bob Ross, apparently. That's a whole nother story. But it's funny. It is funny. All right, let's do most absurd statement. So, Voldy, We have not been nominated this year, thankfully. And
Thankfully.
which is kind of scary. I mean, you could technically, I mean, yours was so spot on for bold predictions. Mine was Justin Jefferson, over 2,000 yards, 20 touchdowns, but nothing beats these. I mean, nothing beats these that we have here. So
Really scraping the bottom of the barrel here for these
yes, big time. The first one that you had a choice of, Calebwilliams. He texted the Bears punter after he got drafted by the Bears. He said, "Hey, you're not going to punt too much this year." After the Bears had 4 and is it 4 and 13 or something like that? Oh, some people never learn, man. They don't learn. No. All right, our next one, Mikey Ryan, and his wasn't even that absurd, but
no.
He said the Vikings are going to have the top defense this year, which you could say, yes, it's absurd because they didn't get the top. Takeaways. Yeah. But they were tops in takeaways. In every category, they were top 5 at least. But they finished, I think it was 15th, I believe, in total defense, which isn't bad. I mean, that's still an improvement. B-Flow's cooking. So we're good there. All right.
Last year, the year before that. Yeah. Vast improvement.
Yes, vast improvement. All right, Draymondgreen. Man, he's on here way too much. It's just like, but we can't get away from him. He says the NBA is not set up for players to be wealthy after they're done. How much money you getting paid there, Draymond? Tell us, please. I'd like to know.
Don't be dumb with your money.
Don't be dumb with your money. That's exactly what I thought when I saw that.
Rocket science.
This isn't hard. You guys got to figure out your financials. So, all right, this one infuriates me probably to no end because I can't stand the sight of, or especially this name, those damn pohlads.
Yep.
Joe Pohlad said this after the Twins took a freaking nosedive after the season. Aaron Gleeman sent him some questions to answer. And one of them involving him cutting payroll by $30 million. He said, and I'm, if it will let me, there we go. He said, the thing is, it's so long though. That's why it's tough for me because it doesn't fit on the page. But he says, I have a business to run and it comes with tough decisions. That's what factored into my decision to cut payroll. You already dug our grave here, buddy. Like this, you get in charge of the baseball operations side of it, and you don't know how to run the freaking. This is the other pohlads talking, saying, "Well, just do what we say. We'll cut by $30 million." And this is why you're selling the team, because you guys don't know how to run a baseball team, a baseball franchise, and you have all this money and you don't use it. So screw you. So that one is a factor in here as well. Miketannenbaum, Voldy, he's a failed GM, I will say. He said, outside of Patrick Mahomes, if we were running an NFL team today, there's nobody on the planet that I'd rather have than Jordan Love.
Bruh.
Oh, and the Packers bought into it. The Packers brought into it too.
So bad.
Oh, that one was terrible too. I mean, the thing is, ESPN, they say a lot of absurd statements, but on the planet, he outside of Patrick, Josh Allen, how about that? I'd throw that up there.
Yep.
FYI. So, all right, let's get to the results here. All right, so in third place is Mike Tannenbaum, obviously outside Patrick Mahomes, if we're running an NFL team today and all that. But, this one I feel like should have won a little bit, but, these other ones are pretty good too. The next one is Joe Pohlad on cutting $30 million in payroll. I had to make a very difficult business decision, but that's just the reality of my work.
Wow.
You guys are on the freaking Forbes list, and you can't come up with money God, what a bunch of BS. All right, the winner for most absurd statement of 2024 is, and we do actually have a drum roll, so let me do it this way. And Voldy, why don't you guess after this goes off? How's that sound?
Okay.
Let's do it.
Draymond Green.
No!
Caleb
Williams. Caleb
Yeah, that
Williams.
makes sense.
Hey,
Yeah.
you're not going to punt too much this year. Oh.
Idiot.
Just saying, man. We can send you your certificate. We will DM you his certificate for most absurd statement of 2024. How's that sound? I bet Mitch is feeling pretty good about that right about now, isn't he? So I guess not congratulations, but congratulations to Caleb Williams for winning most absurd statement of the year. Just got to think before you send, man. Just got to think before you send. All right, we'll do a couple more memories, and then we will get to best guest. Best guest. Voldy, I will say, just to do a little tease, we have a new champion.
Ooh.
New champion.
Interesting.
That's all I'm saying. Champion or
Moses gonna be
champions.
pissed.
So, let's get to a memory. Oh, guess who it is? Mama Callahan, a.k.a. it says Mama
Mom's
Mary.
great.
I call her Mama. She says, listening to the very first MinneZona podcast, congrats on 5 years and still going strong. Oh, thanks, Mom. I appreciate that. Oh. Just remember, Mama Callahan's the one that started Table Topics. Don't forget that. And she says that, too. She says, remember, I was the one that... I was like, yeah, I know, Mom. I'm well aware. Well aware. And we're grateful for it, too. So thank you, Mama. And our next one is the Kerf Doctor, the one who got us started on the first show.
Yes.
He's got a really good one. And Voldy, you're going to remember this one. You ready for this?
All right. What do you got?
Very first show back. And this was after Sports Zone and all that.
Right.
I had so many zoners on the stream, it crashed more than once.
Yes. Yes. I specifically remember. Yes.
I remember that because I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, why is he? It's like we had everything set up in it. He goes, I think it's because we got so many people on here. I said, how many? It's like, I mean, we were in the 50s, I think, for people and whatnot, and that was insane.
Quite a bit.
Even for itself. And again, it was an older laptop at the time too for myself. So
back when we were doing Facebook Live too. So.
That's right. That is a very good point.
Moving up in the world, man.
We are. We're doing some cool stuff. Lucas says, Lynx were close. It was just too painful to vote for them. That's fair. I agree with him. That's fair, man, because that was a bunch of BS. And if you guys want some context and stuff like that on that specific game, look at our clip with Alex Zappa. I believe it was shortly – we had the show shortly after that whole thing went down. He explains it in good detail too, so make sure you check that out. Kerf Doctor, I mean, what would we do without you? Especially that day too. I mean, it would have been interesting. First show back, but we got it off. All right, Jack Vickers, our guy Jack Vickers. Favorite MinneZona memory, not applicable. Oh God. He says NA. I think he's doing that as a joke. Well, I think it's because he should. Wow, thanks, Jack. I know he's joking, too. What is funny? All right, one more, then we will get to best guest. Best guest is, so anyway, Amber Volkman. Amber has been a zoner for as long as I can remember. She was in our fantasy football league, and she did quite well. So claps out to Amber, and obviously taking the time to fill us out. I enjoy the show and the tater tot. Hot takes. Thank our creative consultant, actually. She was the one that came up with that. Yep. And we took her.
She was.
And the tater, and yes, we did spell tater wrong. We already know that.
Hey, it makes it unique, and I just love the fact that it took. I love the fact that it took us 4+ years to realize that it was spelled incorrectly
instead of E at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love it. You know what?
I like
we
it
just
too.
Went with it. Yeah.
I like it too.
And the fact that nobody else has said anything.
I know.
In 4, now 5 years, that Tater Tot hot take is spelled wrong. But hey, it's cool.
That's just me.
Whatever.
I don't know, man. All right. So we still have some more, so stay with us. But we got to get to best guest. We had a lot of guests. We had a lot of guests this past year. A lot of guests that that have been here multiple times, things like that. Obviously, you had the choice of Double Trouble, our 2-time champs. Will it be 3? We don't know. Michael Ryan, Mikey. I mean, the thing is, one of these years he's going to get it. It's just a matter of when. It's a matter of when. Cole Munson, who was on earlier on season 5, but we will get him back. Obviously, Alex Zappa. Zaps has been on multiple times this past season as well. Did a great job. He's awesome. And then Eric Moser, Mo's daddy. He was on a bunch of times after he won as well, so he is up. Will he be a 2-time, 2 in a row, back-to-back champion? We don't know. Jason Schmitz. And yes, I know the Rams won. You don't have to tell me like 5 billion other times when he texted me and everything like that, dude.
Ew.
I'm just kidding. He's my cousin. We go back and forth a lot. It's fine. Joe Clements, our guy Joe Clements, Cowboys fan, Buckeyes fan, Vikings fan. I mean, just everywhere. Even Twins fan. Sports in general. We had a fun time with Mitch Ribby. Hopefully no, I'm just kidding. I like Mitch. Come on. Mitch is great, man. We had a great time with him. And then Brotherly Ballers podcast, Tyler Herman, Jack Vickers, they said they're making a run at it as well. Mikey Lawrence, who was going to show up, then apparently didn't. I don't know what was going on there. And then
I do have an update. Apparently he was whisked away to a dinner tonight, and that was not part of his plan, so he forgot. So I'm actually texting him right now. So
there you go. All right, Braden Wallenstein, who was on for our NFC North roundtable talk earlier. We'll probably have him on again. He was great. And then Matt Fowler, who was on earlier with Super Bowl stuff special, with the Niners. So, with that being said, let's take a look at what we have. So, who was voted for? We'll start with that, and then we'll do the top 3.
Okay.
Mikey Ryan, again, I'm telling you, he gets picked every time and whatnot.
Consistent. I will say that consistency is key. Yep.
That is key.
You have to do some Cole Munson stuff in the ballot box.
Yeah, or Eric Moser, possibly.
That too. Hey, it works. Results work, baby.
It works. And what's the thing if you vote for yourself, Voldy? Can never go wrong.
Can never go wrong. Always vote for yourself.
Alex Zappa was voted for, and then we got Joe Clements, and then Mikey Lawrence as well. So we've got
they're on the
votes.
board. I like it.
So we have a top 3. Lucas says so many clowns was hard to pick. Yeah, there was. That's the thing. It's like, man, there's so many. And it's like, how do you pick? How do you pick any of these guys? So, all right, coming in 3rd place, which is respectable because they've won a lot too. Mm-hmm. Tyler Herman and Jack Vickers at number 3.
Brotherly
Congratulations.
Ballers.
Brotherly Ballers. We have a great connection with those guys. We all have them on for fantasy football stuff as well. And then for 2nd, which is very surprising to me. I'm surprised, I will say. Mitch Ribby. He gets 2nd place. That claps out to him. Claps out to him. I give him some credit, man. You know, the thing is ever since he started, he's made some moves, man. So our number 1, there is a new champion, or champions because obviously there's some dealies going on here.
Foreshadowing.
So, Voldy, I will do the drum roll, and you will guess. And
I have no idea who's won. I have no idea. Let's preface this before the drum roll. I have no idea
fair
who's
enough.
won. I'm going to throw out a guess.
All right, here we go. Drum roll, please.
Double trouble.
Double trouble!
Yeah! I don't have my pillow. Darn it. Oh, if I only knew. Hey, you know what that means now? You know that means that they got to come back on the show, because when they said when they win best guess, so they would come back on. Just putting it out there.
That's just, I mean, that's they have to. That's the thing, is like, how do you top that and whatnot?
Exactly.
After, let's see, I think it was Moser last year, and then after that, who else was it? Munson, or was it Double Trouble? Either or.
Double Trouble's won at least twice, I think.
3. This is their third best guest title, Double Trouble.
Wow.
So, congratulations.
You want to talk a real dynasty? It's Double Trouble. They're the real dynasty around here. 3 and 5 years.
Yeah. That's, I mean, look, last year, the thing is when they lose a year, let's just, when they lose a year, they come back and win. I mean, it's incredible.
They'd rather
impressive.
lose with integrity than win by degradation. Munson and Moser stuffing the ballot box. All those two did.
Well,
the fact that those
yeah.
the other two, I mean, they won. They won fair and square. Kudos.
Thing is, with Moser, he's gonna have to give the Burger King deal.
The crown. Yes.
I'm joking. No, we won't do that. But we'll do something with Double Trouble. We'll probably have our 5-year merge or something to them once we get that figured out and whatnot. So, anyway, congratulations. Congratulations to Double Trouble. 3-time best guess. Congratulations. Oh my gosh. It's
fantastic.
Just they know how to do it, man. Mikey says this, Voldy, I think this is before he's heading out. I am campaigning every visit this year. I'm campaigning every visit for
I love it.
I like that move. I mean, you can't complain with that.
I do too.
Mikey he's gotten close, and the thing is if you keep stacking those, Double Trouble's got competition. Just saying. Moser, Munson, whole deal. All right. That's going to do it for the awards portion. Let's finish off the memories. We've gone through a couple. Our next one with I did read Amber's. That's right. Our next one, we just got a couple more here. Andrew, a.k.a. Easy A, my boy, throwing in some cool stuff. Vikings dominating season. Fair enough.
Yeah.
It was fun. I just wish we would have played better, towards the end. It sucked, man. I wanted to win. But he's got a better one than that, though. Let's be honest. Come on. He's funny. All right, next one. Nick Dahlhoff from Popcorn Bucket List. Make sure you check out Popcorn Bucket List. Every episode weekly and things like that with Rhino, a.k.a. Ryan of the Meyerberg. So, Nick says this. Doesn't matter the sport, the season will almost always end up in some sort of tough loss. Yeah, you guys, your guys' passion and honesty is the perfect place for any sports fan to air out their grievances and share the pain with like-minded individuals. Plus, you are free, so you're cheaper than therapy. I love that. That is so good. Nick, you're awesome. This is keep up the good work, gentlemen. We appreciate when Nick tunes in. We have a great relationship with Popcorn Bucket List and whatnot. We have a great time with those guys, and we're talking with them doing something in the summer here, FYI. So gonna give you a little bit of a spoiler, but keep your eyes out for crossover opportunities. All right, our next one is Voldy. It is a man who has kind of put a tagline on our show. Can you guess who it is?
No.
Okay.
I can't, honestly.
Papa Callahan. Papa Callahan.
My man.
Do you know the phrase?
Yes, I do. Going from the penthouse to the outhouse.
Other way around. Outhouse to the penthouse for Percy Harvin.
Whatever.
That's all.
Whatever.
It works. Or you go from the penthouse out. You can do both. I mean, that's the thing. It's
Exactly.
kind of like Devontae Adams went from the Packers to the crappy Raiders. I mean, there you go. There's one. He says, my interview with you and Paul, and I was nominated for most absurd statement. No, that's he wasn't. It was most approved statement, Dad. Come on. You said Percy Harvin went from the penthouse to. No, you were right,
Yes, thank you.
You were right. From the penthouse to the outhouse. It wasn't an absurd statement. It wasn't
Seattle
an absurd
to the Bills.
That's correct. Thank you.
Back when the Bills were trash.
Yeah, very true. Very true. But he's that was one of the funniest things I ever heard. And that was the most approved statement. So you got to twist it. He wasn't absurd. It was most approved. But thank you, Dad. We did have a great time the last show on Sports Zone with Papa Callahan. Talk some stuff. And who knows? He might show up again. We will keep you in tune with that. Mikey says this, and he said this earlier, but we'll go with what he has down here. The go-to source for weekly Minnesota sports news takes, 5 years running, no bias here. Favorite memory has to be the year-end awards. He loves the year-end awards, and it shows. It shows. So he says should be a I want to win decision, not a business decision. That's true. I agree. I'm with you, Lucas. I'm 100% with you. All right. To round things off, and we will actually get to our scheduled programming. Well, actually, this is our scheduled programming. All right. This guy I haven't heard from until recently. I will say this. This is a former SMSU friend of ours, Voldy. Okay. He was with us in Oceans. Can you guess who that was? Who that is?
Boy. I could think about 3 or 4 people, but I'm going to take one guess. Is it Dirty Mike?
Nope.
No!
It's on the. Obviously, we had our own level, right? We had.
Yes.
At our own level. That his room and his roommate's room was. I think it was down the hall, just a little down the hall. If you went out of your room and took a right. They were just down the hall.
The Colin Bauer?
Close. No. Next to them. Easy and Colin.
Oh, I could see his face. Is it Austin?
Yes!
Nicholson. Yeah!
I love Nicholson, my guy. I love Austin.
That guy.
He says Vikings another year being out in the first round. Ah, man, come on. Why you got to do that to me? I know it sucks. And the thing is they lost in the first round with Kirk, too. So, but got to bank on JJ. Got to bank on JJ McCarthy, Jets. We have $70 million in cap space. We can do this. We
got our head coach back.
Got KOC back and everything like that. Forget what Florio said. He's a clown. No one cares about what his deal is with that. So that's going to do it. That is the 2024 Zoney Awards. Congratulations, to all our winners, especially for the ones who did MinneZona Sports Memory. Before we even go into Tater Tot Hot Take with, we got to talk sports. I mean, this is a sports show, right? Minnesota sports, right. The whole deal. But before we get into that, we just want to thank everybody who took the time to vote and do, some of these memories and whatnot. The thing is like we do the show because Voldy and I love sports. We love talking sports. We love talking sports with you as well, whether you agree, disagree, things like that. We appreciate you. So claps go out to all the zoners out there, even tuning in or tuning in later as well. We can't thank you enough. We love all of you guys. And, the thing is season 6 is going to be fun. And if you missed the first part of MinneZona, we have a surprise that we gave out. And we have a logo for our 5-year anniversary, and there might be merch on the horizon. So take a look at our 5-year logo. In gold, baby. I love it. I love it. In the gold. And it's not done yet. The final touches are being made on the MinneZona Sports Live logo. We can't thank enough Kelsey Kerfman for all her work on this. She is getting close, and we can't wait to give all out the cool merch to you guys. So thank you guys for sticking with us, tuning in, and we're just getting started, baby. Come on now,
baby. We're rolling.
Let's go. We're rolling. So thanks again, and let's get to some tater tot hot take, huh? What do you say, Voldy? We got KOC. We're going to do some quick hot takes. KOC extended. We'll quick talk about that. The Wild stay ahead of the Avs in the standings. They're doing a kick-ass job right now. And we have an update on the Twins as well. Derekfalvey saying business as usual. And yeah. So without further ado, 5-year anniversary edition. It's time for some tater tot hot take.
Fresh out of the oven, it's Tater Tot Hot Take.
All right, guys, just now, we're going to be doing some new, taking some new footage, things like that in the summer.
Yep.
One of the things, hopefully, yeah, we'll try to find time. But we're going to try to have Tater Tot hot take, MinneZona style, the bake into the oven, and we're going to take it out. It's going to be steaming. It's going to be awesome. Yep. MinneZona Tater Tot hot take. Let's go. Hot dish, baby. All right. So our first one, Kevin O'Connell, KOC, our guy is back. Yes, huge. He got extended.
Huge.
The Wolves got it done. Mike Florio was wrong. We love that. But he won't admit it. That's okay. But Voldy, obviously, we knew this was going to get done. I was more than confident the Vikings would get this done. Your thoughts on the extension real quick?
I mean, of course, we had been talking, of course, behind closed doors and off the air, that conversations had been taking place the last few weeks, even before the end of the regular season. Heck, even before the game against Detroit, in the regular season finale, that conversations had been taking place with O'Connell and the front office about an extension. And I'm just glad that we got it done now. Got it taken care of. It's out of the way. Now O'Connell can, really focus on, the draft coming up, looking at how we rebuild this team, and a little bit more focus can be put into quite possibly locking up Brian Flores again, too, with the possible extension on top of it. I just love the fact that this was taken care of right away, as opposed to dragging it on well into, obviously the offseason with OTAs, the draft, even before training camp. We got it done now. He's locked in. We don't know the full extent of details beyond just saying a multi-year extension as of right now. Hopefully those will get revealed. I would assume 5 years, 6 years, I would imagine on top of it.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, that's usually about the magic number right there. But I'm glad this is done. Now we can focus on bigger things. How do we build this team, even with a door that is not wide open, but there's competition here in the NFC North.
There is. And the thing is now Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, they're working on his deal right now, so it seems like everyone's being kept around. I feel like the next thing is Brian Flores. What are they like? Is he going to take a job? Is he not going to take a job with the team? What's going to happen with him? It sounds like B-Flow is not in the running with some of the ones that are open right now, but there could be a decision where they say, well, Jacksonville's like, well, we got to have this, winning team. I think Jacksonville could maybe take a run, and or the Raiders as well. Could see Tom Brady trying to bring him to, almost said Oakland, Las Vegas, and the Cowboys. I don't think he had an interview with them, so I think they're leaning more towards Dion, but I think Flores is the next thing, and then now you got to set up the plan of the offseason. Obviously, go to the combine, see what you got with some of the rookies, maybe add the offensive line, O-line, as the Curve Doctor likes to say. Mm-hmm. Or another position, which could possibly be some of the defensive holes that we might have with Harry. I don't want to say more than likely, because we could have said that last year, and he still came back. So I will say that safety is another position. Is Bynum coming back? We don't know. Byron Murphy, who had a great season as well, and then go into free agency. So this was going to get done, and I'll spare you the details with Florio, the whole bit with him. But the thing is, there was no doubt in my mind this was going to get done, and it's not even beef towards Jay Glazer for reporting what they reported on Fox, the pregame show, even though I think it really messed up a lot of things. I wouldn't say it's not his fault, though. He's doing his job. Illuminati. Same thing. It's real. Still happening. It's real. So
praise Beyonce.
Yeah, exactly. So, in my opinion, I think it was probably one of their, something got leaked. Someone said something they shouldn't have said. And then that's why Florio took that and was like, well, there's tension between these guys. Well, whatever. It's just so stupid. It's like, oh, you can't read. Well, you can't. You don't know your own sources, for goodness sake. Anyway,
tell me why your books that you're selling are 99 cents on Amazon Prime. Tell me that, Mike Florio. Tell me why you can buy your books online for only 99 cents. Maybe you don't know how to read.
We got to send this to him. This is too good. Stamp of approval, obviously, KOC back with the Minnesota Vikings. Not like he was going anywhere. They weren't going to trade him because no one does that anymore. Like, no one trades coaches. I mean, it's just stupid. All right. Our next one is the Minnesota Wild. They are doing really well as of late. They've had a lot of injuries. Kirill, Spurgeon, Brodeen, those guys have been out for a little bit, but it seems that Kirill and Spurgeon are skating and are trying to get back now as well. John Hines, you mean Coach Hines there, Chief, is kicking ass, taking names with the Minnesota Wild. They beat the Avs 3-1 on Martin Luther King Day. Without those guys, and they stay ahead in the standings in the Central especially, and in the wild card of the Colorado Avalanche. They have 57 points. Wild have 60. So Voldy, where are we at with our Minnesota Wild now? Are we, they're obviously alive. I mean,
they're alive. Yes.
What else would we add with that? What do you got?
I mean, they are awake, they are lucid, but still right now a little bit on life support. They need help breathing a little bit. The injuries have certainly not helped. I mean, we were talking about 20 20 games ago that the Wild were probably top 5 in the NHL. And now that the fact that the NHL has caught wind of how well they've been playing, the team has really slipped as of late. Of course, you could throw the injuries on top of it. Kirill Kaprizov was very much in the running for the MVP this year up until he got hurt. Has definitely, for lack of a better term, it's hurt the team's play overall. You've got these young guys coming into the lineup and trying to bounce in and be productive. Marco Rossi has really stepped up his play in the absence of Kirill Kaprizov. But the Wild are still kind of trading wins and losses back and forth. Yes, they got a win against the Avs the other night, but the Avs goaltending troubles and just kind of their up and down, back and forth play has been kind of wishy-washy. It's not the same, really. When the Avs are good, getting a win against them is great. And when you take a loss, that'll happen because it's the Avs. But feel like winning against the Avalanche this year just doesn't have the same feel as it has in years past. So they're kind of treading water right now. If they would have lost the Avalanche, that would have knocked them out of the wild card spot in the playoffs. If the playoffs started after Monday, the Wild would be out of the playoffs. But right now, they're kind of hanging on that second wild card spot. I believe right now they've got their 60 points, but they've got a few teams in front of them. It's very tightly contested, but they're sitting in third place right now in the Central Division, which is not exactly a great place to be, especially with how loaded the Central Division is and how well teams have been playing this year out of that Central Division. But they've got some work in getting Spurgeon and Kaprizov back at a pretty decent time before the Four Nations face-off. I believe Kaprizov, like I said, like he had said, has started skating, so you get him after the Four Nations face-off, most likely. Going to be a good time for them, get their feet back underneath, and make a good stretch run here in the next couple of months.
And they're going to need it. I mean, obviously after this year, we've talked about on the show that it's time for Billy G to make some moves, things like that.
Trade deadline's coming up too. Got to make some moves there.
That's right. And the Wild take on the Utah Hockey Club here tomorrow, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so, yes.
So we will keep an eye on that. And if Kirill the Thrill plays, Dalla Bel Kirill, our guy, as well, and Jared Spurgeon. So hopefully get those guys back and get on another winning streak. So, all right, that we'll keep an eye on the Wild. Now let's talk about the Twins. I have a couple things to add with that, but Voldy, derekfalvey says, I've been told to operate business as usual. After the awful collapse of the Minnesota Twins this past season, and the news of those damn pohlads finally selling the team, there hasn't been any acquisitions. I think they've literally made no acquisitions. They've made like maybe some minor league acquisitions or something like that. They have done nothing, which doesn't surprise me because this is probably the last FU from the pohlads to the Twins fans. Probably more towards me because I've been very, very mean to them. But again, they deserve it, and I'm not the only one saying it because AJ Brzezinski is saying it now too. So, Voldy, my question to you on the Twins situation is this. Do you think with new ownership that derekfalvey's time as baseball operations GM is limited? Like, do you think, he might be on the way out, especially from these comments? What do you think?
I feel it could go one of two ways, but I feel like the first one would be more likely, which would be, okay, we've got new ownership. We want to empower you to make this the best team as possible. We're going to give you the money. We're going to allow you to go after the big guys and the big guns in free agency. Tell us what you need. We'll make it happen. We'll balance through with whatever salary cap issues. We got to move money around. You need more money. Tell us why we need to invest more money into said player and go after the big dogs. Or it could very well be new ownership, clean house. We're bringing our guys in, and don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. I really hope Falvey at least gets a shot, maybe a season, or at least he gets a strong enough chance to showcase himself or give a good enough sales pitch to at least stick around at least another season or so, if and when the team does get bought. Whoever knows when that'll be. If it does before the start of the season, I highly doubt it if they haven't already been bought to begin with, or at least a sale has take place. Who knows? Lots of weird things have happened with Minnesota teams trying to sell stakes in the franchise, but that's neither here nor there. Thank you, Glenn Taylor. But talking about the Twins, I feel like it'll be kind of a wait-and-see operation with the future of derekfalvey.
So, Falvey, I think he's just operating for what he's got. Obviously, this past year, cutting the payroll, things like that, left him kind of handcuffed. But he did also make a comment saying, we feel like we have a team that can go compete this year. I'll believe it when I see it. The pitching was terrible. I don't care what Rocco says about that. I'll get to that in a second. But the fact that even after the disappointing season, after the fans had enough with the pohlads and them not willing to spend money. I mean, we went over it. If you want to go through the whole rant, go to the Hall of Shame, see one of the episodes here this past season. The fact of the matter is even though they are selling the team, they never said when. I believe that they're trying to do it before opening day, which is great. But this offseason was to be as expected. Nothing happening. Because they're already thinking we want to get out of here. The Twins fans hate us and people can't stand us. We need to get out. Which, it is their fault to no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And it's disappointing, and I personally think it's a last FU to the fans saying, like, you know what, if you don't want us, then that's what we're going to do. You're not going to do a damn thing. We're not letting you spend any money this upcoming offseason, and then we're stuck with who we got. Not saying that they don't have lack of talent. They do. They have talent. Buxton, has to stay healthy, as we always say every freaking year. Correa's another guy who's starting to get hurt a lot too, Volty. So, I mean, it's starting to get to a point where it's like, okay, I mean, guys got to step up now. The interesting thing is, I'll keep it quick here because I know we want to get to our picks for the AFC and NFC championship, and we'll be quick with those two, folks. He was on with Dan Barrero while I was at work. While I was working, I was listening. Props to Barrero. And I've met him a couple times when I was interning, and he's a funny guy, good guy too. He asked some questions that are, that a lot of people have, wanted to know about the pohlads, ownership, and everything like that. So I want to throw this out here before we move on, but if my nieces and or younger kids are watching right now, I want you to put the earmuffs on for a second, real quick. And it's not like an F-bomb or anything like that. It's not an S word. It's not as bad as some of these other ones.
About to be TV mature real quick.
Yeah, but the thing is they say it on KFan all the time since we got it here too.
Yeah.
But, I could not believe how much ass kissing there was for Rocco Baldelli saying, the reason why I came here is because of the pohlads, because they're just great ownership. They're doing a great job, and we love everything. The players love them and everything like that. And I'm like, how much do they pay you to say that? I mean, it was just, he was kissing their ass and just saying, let me know what to say. And this is why it's like, this is the problem. This is the problem. No one is honest about them. And the only people that are honest are the people that are in media and especially on shows like this. We are going to tell you what it is from a fan's perspective and tell you how exactly we feel. The $30 million was an FU to fans to cut payroll $30 million. I don't care who you are. This is completely BS by this ownership, and they should be ashamed of themselves, including Joe Pohlad, including all of them, all the pohlads. They should be ashamed of themselves. And, and Rocco, I think, is part of that too. So I'm sorry, fire Rocco. I'm still saying it. Don't care.
Oh, yeah. Have to.
He is another reason why for this collapse, too. And again, I could go on for a long time here. And I don't want to, this is a fun time. We want to have fun here on the 5-year anniversary. But Rocco needs to go. I'm sorry. He needs to go. It's time. But we'll see with the new ownership. So that is a quick way to do Tater Tot Hot Take. Voldy, you won last week. Mikey won last week in the divisional round again. Claps to you. Hey, I took the Ravens, and you know what? It was a great game nonetheless. We had a great time with it and whatnot. As we welcome Tate to the 5th anniversary show. Welcome, Tate. We're about to make our AFC and NFC conference championship picks. You know the deal.
Who do you want? Do you want Bills or do you want Chiefs?
What do you got?
No, he's sleeping.
You sleep? Okay,
No.
gotcha. Fair
No,
enough.
he's awake. I'm awake.
Okay, Chiefs or Bills. I'm just kidding. All right, let's get it going with our championship picks.
He has emerged from the temple of wisdom. Gather round for Voldy's virtues. Class is in session. You're enrolled in Callahan's School of Logic.
All right, it is time for our AFC and NFC championship picks. Here's the thing. Voldy, since you won last week, I will let you go first on both sides of, or obviously for both games. Bills, Chiefs. Let's start with NFC. Let's go Eagles, Commanders, or Commies, as you like to say.
Yeah,
and then we'll go Bills and Chiefs. So, Voldy, who do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to start with the NFC Championship game. I mean, the garb itself should probably give a bit of a dead giveaway of who I'm going to go with. I feel that with this Commanders team, that they have something to prove. Of course, I feel like it's going to be a battle of the offenses. I just feel that the Commanders on their side, they're very opportunistic with their offense for sure. They get spotted it in a couple of decent field positioning ways. Jaden Daniels has had a really good knack for finding the ball to his receivers, whether it be Scary Terry, whether it be Zach Ertz, whether, even getting the run game involved. Robinson, McNichols, you throw, of course, Austin Eckler in the mix when he's been involved with the team too. That has been quite something. I feel it's also going to be a matchup with the Washington defense against Philly's offense. Of course, it is going to be predicated on the running of Saquon Barkley, but I'm going to pick the Commanders in the NFC Championship to represent into the Super Bowl over the Eagles. Also, I just don't like the Eagles fans, so they don't need any more positivity in their life. They need to be taken down a peg or two.
Fair enough. Mm-hmm. I like it. I like the upset with it. All right. Since we asked Tate, I mean, who does he got? Bills, Chiefs, or Voldy, or what do we got?
Well, I know who I'm going to pick. I feel that if it doesn't happen this year, it's probably never going to happen. And I'm talking about, no, not a three-peat for Kansas City. I'm talking about the Buffalo Bills going into Arrowhead, slaying the dragon that is, getting the monkey off their back, and going to the Super Bowl. I'm taking the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen solidified his stance as NFL MVP and the AFC, and hopefully the representative out of the AFC by defeating the Ravens last week. And hopefully that will be enough juice for him to be focused and ultimately come out the victor against, of course, Patrick Mahomes. They did win in the regular season. That was a huge help to gain that confidence, knowing that they can beat them. We do know that playoff matchups against those two teams have come all the way down to the final seconds. Maybe a call, maybe a play, but we know that is going to be something a full 60 minutes, maybe even overtime, will have to be taken into account. But give me the Buffalo Bills to take down the Kansas City Chiefs.
I love it. All right, here's mine. Let's start with the NFC here real quick. The Commanders have had a really awesome run, and Jaden Daniels has, like you just said, and like everybody's saying, a lot of people are saying, that they are kind of the surprise team, and obviously the rookie quarterback and what Dan Quinn has done with the defense and offensively with Cliff Kingsbury. It's been an awesome run. Philadelphia, I'm going to put the fans out to the side for a second because let's look at the team. Saquon Barkley running through the snow against the Rams and shutting Jared Verse up, even though Jared Verse had a good game, talking crap about the fans and everything like that. Probably wasn't the smartest decision, but you know what? They almost won. So, who knows? But Saquon is running the ball really well. The big question, and I saw this today, Jalen Hurts did not practice today. He did not practice today. So keep that in mind. Kenny Pickett, I believe, would be available. If Jalen Hurts doesn't play, you almost want to take Washington, right? I mean, it's tough to say, but just knowing kind of the Eagles have been – a lot of these guys have been here before. Mailata, obviously Dickerson has been, been in this position before. They've been to the Super Bowl. They've won it. They lost it. The whole deal. The thing that we have to remember here is that they are a very good football team. Now, I was almost banking on Lions, Eagles, going to Detroit and everything like that. I think the Eagles would have a really good chance to beat them. But it comes down to Jalen Hurts. Voldy, I am going to be taking the Philadelphia Eagles. Yes, I will take the Eagles. I know.
Gross.
But
come on.
The thing, I know. But here's the thing. I want to. We want to see the Commanders win, and we want Commanders Bills, right? I mean, that's great. But I just think the Eagles just have too much. Man. Yeah. I think the Eagles, especially with. Nothing phases this Commander team. I mean, they went into Detroit and won. Now they got to go to Philly again and whatnot. I just feel like I don't think it will get to them. I think it's going to be a close game, but I'll take the Eagles. All right, real quick, since I know we got to get going. Bills and Chiefs. Voldy, let's do it. Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo
Bills. Do it.
Give me the Bills. Come on. Let's go. Yes. And I do this. The reason why I picked the Bills. There has been a certain someone on our feed and has been talking crap when we haven't said a freaking word to this guy. None. Nope. Zip. Zilch. Austin Hanley, you're about to get handed an L. An L. L. Josh Allen's coming. And I'm telling you what, if those Bills win, you are going to be flooded with comments, messages, things like that of Bills stuff, everything. I've had enough of your BS about, the Vikings suck, they lost in the first round, they couldn't get it done. It was a rebuild year, and you know it, and they overperformed, and they did a great job, and KOC's awesome. So we're done. I'm done with you. I'm taking the Bills. Let's go. Circle them wagons. All right, that'll do it for our picks. We'll see how it turns out here on Sunday. Voldy, we got ARA to get through, so let's get it going. What's up? Or approved.
It's time for everyone's favorite segment, Absurd or Approved.
All right, shortened version of ARA. Voldy, what do you got rolling for us tonight?
Well, we start off in the world of the NFL. We've kind of prefaced it a few different ways, but the Chicago Bears have finally named a new head coach as a former offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. Ben Johnson will be named head coach, or has been named head coach, for the franchise in Chicago that has been in existence for 105 years. This being the first time serving as a head coach. Ben Johnson will take over a young, burgeoning offense that does include, of course, former first-round overall draft pick, that being Calebwilliams at quarterback, and an offense that could certainly use a few things that could be molded by the offensive mind of the likes of Ben Johnson. During his tenure as offensive coordinator for the Lions, Ben Johnson ranking in the NFL first in offensive points per game, first in yards per game, touchdowns per drive, and even red zone touchdown percentage, all in first in the entire league. Now, the Bears, on the other hand, could not get out of their own way to save their life when it came to the offense. So hopefully getting an offensive-minded head coach for a young quarterback in going into his second season as a professional will hopefully turn things around in Chicago. But is it absurd or approved with Ben Johnson now as head coach? Will Caleb Williams and the Bears offense succeed with Ben Johnson as head coach?
Well, if you ask Mitch, who came in second, by the way, best guess, he would say, obviously, blah, 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 they're going to win the North. Nah. There's a couple things they need to do before they figure out offense and whatnot. The one thing that the Detroit Lions had was a solid offensive line. You had it with Ragnow and Penei Sewell, the whole deal. The Bears have a terrible offensive line. They need to go out and get some O-line because Caleb can't be making plays all himself all the time. Now they gotta make a splash. I think Pace will try to do that, but Keenan Allen's getting old. Not saying that he's bad by any means, but he's not getting any younger. DJ Moore is still very, very good. Roma Dunze, I still think, has about a year or two to go with him, and they rarely use the tight end. I mean, Komet, barely was used. Yeah, it was an afterthought. Exactly. That's perfect. And DeAndre Swift, he's still got some juice and whatnot. But they got to figure
Roschon Johnson was nice for them this year.
Yeah, that's a good point, too. Yeah, Roschon Johnson. So I think Johnson will do a lot with their offense and whatnot. Do I think they're going to be a contender this upcoming year? I'll believe it when I see it. Once the season gets closer, let's see with free agency, draft, all that. But I'll give it my stamp of approval, but I won't go as far to say as it's going to be just amazing. They're going to have this quick turnaround. It's going to take time, and I think Mitch would agree with that, but who knows? Voldy, what do you got?
I mean, there's a lot of things to take in consideration. Definitely in bolstering that offensive line that definitely needs a lot of help. And if you can protect your quarterback and not allow Caleb Williams to have to run for his life and go after and try to extend plays, thus leading him into some tough situations to quite possibly turn over the football, that's going to be a big thing. And that's one thing under the system of Ben Johnson in Detroit. That was a big focal point for them. You keep Jared Goff happy in the pocket to at least find some receivers down the field. That's going to work out. So definitely bolstering that offensive line to start is going to be the big key for the Bears going into this offseason. You get that straightened away, maybe find another receiver, maybe incorporate the tight end a little bit more than they did this year. They've got some complementary pieces at running back. I feel like this could be a vast improvement from their sad finish in 2024 that they did. I could definitely see success come their way, but will it lead to wins? We'll have to see. I think they definitely improved from their 4 wins of last year. But will it be above 500? I'm going to say no, but success will be had. So it's got my stamp of approval.
We have Mitch on the comments.
Oh, Mitch.
Guess what he says? Kings of the North. He thinks they're going to be Kings of the North.
Loser.
I put in the chat, Mitch, stop it. Nick, thank you, Nick, for getting in here. Peter Griffin voice. Shut up, Mitch. I love it. Oh, my gosh. Mitch, we'll have you on for the round table when it gets closer to next season. It's going to be a while, but we'll chat. We'll chat. All right, next one, Voldy.
Well, we head to the world of college football more than a week after the season came to an end for the Texas Longhorns football program. University of Texas agreed to a new contract with head coach Steve Sarkisian. Of course, reports coming out that maybe his interest being drawn back to the NFL for Sarkisian as a head coach there, but they decided to lock him up after their first season in the SEC, winning 2 college football playoff games before being eliminated by the eventual college football playoff national champion Ohio State Well, the Longhorns are going to be with their head coach, that being Steve Sarkisian, under a 7-year deal, which will make him one of the highest paid coaches in all of college football. Now, with all that being said, 7 years, quite a long time at the age of 50 now for Sarkisian. Is it absurd or approved during this stretch of the 7-year deal? Will Sarkisian lead the Longhorns to a national championship?
Oh, that's a great question. They, I think, have had a resurgence, and a good resurgence for one.
Right.
Texas has done a really great job these past years of recruiting, adding a lot of talent in the quarterback room. Ewers, obviously, Arch Manning is going to. I mean, he's the future for them right now. He has installed a really good program down there, and I think with the 7-year deal, it says we're committing to you long term. We want you as our head coach. You've led us to the college football playoff. You know, and they want more. And the thing is, the recruiting class is very good for next year and whatnot. And, you know, I think they looked at that and said, we got to keep you because, I mean, this is amazing. And, you know, what a story he was. You know, he dealt with some, you know, alcoholism, you know, things like that. Or, you know, earlier in his career and whatnot, but he's really turned it around, and he's guiding a really good Texas team back to kind of the, you know, the type of the Vince Young-ish days type of, you know, that kind of thing. But I think they're always in contention, and you know, as much as I hate to say it, horns up. Horns up. You know, and it's good. I mean, I like it when Texas is good, but not too good. If you catch my drift, who knows? Yeah. But yeah, it's got my stamp of approval. I think he's the right guy for the job. So, Voldy, what do you got?
You know, college football, and I've said this many times. College football is good when Texas is good. As annoying as they have been in the years where they haven't been, something about Texas and football. Obviously, they go hand in hand, but when they're not good, you hear about it. And when they're good, you hear about it. Let's just hope that with Arch Manning, of course, over the next couple of seasons, that they will be able to put a few things here together. Beyond that, there are definitely chances with the success that they've had this year in their first season in the SEC, making it a deep run into the college football playoff, that it could very well bear fruit to the seeds growing of maybe a run at the national championship with Sarkisian. I could very well see it. If anything, you look at the success that Sarkisian has had along his stops along the way. I mean, I often forget that he was head coach at Washington previously. Of course, he did have a spurt there when he was head coach at USC at the end of the Pete Carroll era at USC, and even his time as offensive coordinator under Nick Saban at Alabama. There's been nothing but top talent to come through, and he knows talent when he sees it. I could very well see a national championship come their way. I've said it. College football is good when Texas is good. I could see them win a national championship within the next 7 years for sure.
100% agree. I think it's only a good thing that they're good, even though it's kind of annoying. Either way. All right, last one, Voldy.
All right, we head to the world of Major League Baseball. No, we're not going to be talking about the Hall of Fame. We are talking about one of the more coveted possessions in baseball after a sensational year from the National League Rookie of the Year in Paul Skeens. Now, of course, the Major League Baseball, of course, has been putting out information along with the Pittsburgh Pirates, the team that so holds the ownership of Paul Skeens as a player. But one of the most prized possessions that could be is the very first rookie card of Paul Skeens. Now, the one-of-a-kind baseball card that does feature the rookie debut patch autographed by Paul Skeens, a one-of-one card, has been out in circulation since, of course, the debut that did happen for Paul Skeens. Well, that card has finally been located. A 11-year-old card collector in Los Angeles is the one that came up with the one-of-one distinction of that card autographed by the likes of Paul Skeens. Now, the collector has been offered, or at least offer was put up by the Pittsburgh Pirates, when the card did go into circulation, if the person that did find the card would go to the Pittsburgh Pirates and return said card that would be given back to Paul Skeens, here's what the collector would get. They'd be willing to trade it to the Pirates. They would have put together a package that includes 30 years worth of season tickets behind home plate at PNC Park Exchange for the card as well. There's other things in there as well, including of which a softball game featuring Pirates legends, a chance to rent out PNC Park during the time, maybe for a party. I've seen the list. It is quite extensive. It is quite worth it. But then to throw the kicker on top of it, Paul Skeens' girlfriend, LSU gymnast and influencer Livy Dunn, also threw out that the card's owner would have the opportunity to take in a game with Livy Dunn in a luxury suite during one of Paul Skeens' starts. Now, that sounds like a pretty good deal, but the value that is included with Paul Skeens' rookie card has already got millions and millions of dollars being thrown out at its worth. Of course, him winning the National League Rookie of the Year, being one of the best prospects in baseball that did come into the season, and also the talent that he could very well have over the years, does fetch a very high mark when it comes to collectors and those willing to pay for it. Now, it is one of those you throw into the situation, and we put you in this 11-year-old's shoes right now. What are you going to do? Are you going to take the Pirates deal or look at selling the card for millions of dollars at that top dollar? What would you do?
That's a great question. There's a lot of positives to this, obviously. The thing is, I'm going to use a movie reference here, and Nick Dahlhoff might appreciate this, and Rhino for that instance too. I mean, he got the golden ticket. Good Lord. He got the Wonka. He can go wherever the heck he wants, and people are trying to buy it from him, X, Y, and Z and whatnot. But listen, if you're getting 30 years worth of season tickets behind home plate at PNC Park, which is a nice park, by the way, very historic, and then getting to meet one of the top influencers in Livy Dunn, I mean, who would say no? Just saying, it holds high value and whatnot. If I were in this situation, you would get a massive haul, but let's be honest, throw in some dough, please. I mean, he has it. He collected it. This young man is obviously knows what he's doing. I would try to be like Pirates.
Here's the full details of the trade itself. Like I had said, the 2 Pirates season tickets behind home plate for the next 30 years. Meet and greet with Paul Skeens, 2 Paul Skeens autographed jerseys, softball game for 30 at PNC Park with coaching from Pirates alumni, private tour of Pirate City and Lecom Park. I would imagine that's the surrounding area and also the stadium within itself. And of course, the Pirates game with Livy Dunn in her suite, courtesy of Livy herself. So that is what the Pirates are offering for the trade itself.
Okay. I'd take it. Screw it. I'm going to take it. I mean, maybe the Pirates will do something. I mean, 30 years, that's awesome. I mean, it's like, why don't you just give them a life deal with that? But, I'd take the deal. But if someone's coming around with $1 million or something like that, I mean, that's hard not to say.
Oh, it's going to be more than $1 million. We're talking probably
millions, I should say. I'm sorry.
Millions. Very much so. Yeah.
Mitch says, go Big Red, apparently. I didn't know he was a Husker fan. That's weird.
Gross.
He says, Livy all the way. He says he'd take the deal. So that's what I got. I'll take the deal with the Pirates. I don't know. Hopefully there's not any scammers around there that would be like, oh, I'm not going to, it's like you get half of what they actually say or whatever.
Right.
I'll go with that. Voldy, what do you got?
I mean, I definitely am going to, it's not going to be a gut reaction kind of situation of just like, yeah, I'll take the deal. It's like, no, I'm going to sell. There is a lot when it comes to trying to sell the card itself. Of course, I've seen a few shows when it comes to selling these one-of-one cards. It doesn't really, I mean, it works out. You ultimately make a few $1 million, but is it ultimately really worth it? selling the card or taking it in and returning there. I mean, my immediate reaction would be, let's return it to Paul Skeens. That way he can have that little piece of history, and the Pirates too. Get to meet him, obviously, get his thoughts, pick his brain a little bit. You can enjoy some baseball on top of it. Hopefully the Pirates would be good over the time of it being 30 years behind home plate. Getting to meet Lippy Dunn certainly isn't a bad thing. I mean, I am definitely taking the Pirates deal for sure and cashing in on that in a big way, because not too often do you ever get to sit behind home plate. But for 30 years, I need to get that in writing too. I mean, you say 30 years, it'll probably be half a season or like one homestand or something. Like I need that in writing. I need it notarized. I need my lawyer to look at it. Let's get this all set in stone for sure.
Yeah, that's a hell of a deal. I'm telling you, it's a good deal, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that'll do it for ARA this week. Great job as always, Voldy, on our 5-year anniversary. And if you guys didn't know, you know now. In honor of our 5-year anniversary, new logo. Just for the 5 years we've been here, we're working on merch stuff, so keep an eye out for things like that. And the only way that we can wrap up this show is doing Shield shoutouts. We've done it since the Sports Zone. We're going to keep doing it. Voldy's got some Shield shoutouts, so let's get it going with some Shield shoutouts.
Shield shoutouts.
All right, Shield, who you shouting out tonight?
Well, first off, we got to say it's been 5 years of MinneZona Sports Live, and we certainly want to thank all the zoners out there that have been with us pre-MinneZona Sports Live, have been with us through the ups and the downs, the crash streams, the internet breaking, the power outages, the missed opportunities, me being gone, you being gone, anything and everything in between, moving a job, switching jobs, moving houses, moving to different parts of Minnesota, the birth of 2 children on top of that. You guys have been with us from the very start, and I certainly do want to say thank you to all the zoners that have been out there. You guys definitely help us drive the show and continue to have us come back each and every time. So a big Shield shout out to the zoners out there for being with us from the very beginning. Do want to say a Shield shout out goes out to the 2025 Baseball Hall of Fame class that was announced as of yesterday. 3 new members that were elected by the Baseball Writers Association of America. It does include former Seattle Mariners outfielder and hitman himself, that being Ichiro Suzuki. He'll be making his way to Cooperstown. Stud left-handed pitcher, of course, in my mind, he will forever be a Milwaukee Brewer, even though he was there for half a season. But what a half a season in Milwaukee it was for CC Sabathia, World Series champion with the Yankees. I like to forget that whole stretch, even though in my mind he will be a Brewer, and longtime closer for multiple franchises, of course, notably with the Houston Astros. He was in with the Boston Red Sox at the end of his career. He went with the Phillies and also the Atlanta Braves. Billy Wagner on his 10th and final year on the ballot, making his way to Cooperstown. So congratulations, those 3 gentlemen. Will be joining Dick Allen and Dave Parker on Cooperstown coming up here later this summer in the Baseball Hall of Fame. And sadly, of course, with Shield shoutouts, we do have to conclude. Of course, we did lose a great titan in the world of not only Major League Baseball, but in sport and also in pop culture itself. Bob Uecker, the longtime voice of the radio broadcast for the Milwaukee Brewers, sadly passed away this week. Bob Uecker, a member of the Baseball Hall of Fame as a broadcaster, of course, with his long time at the Milwaukee Brewers. Of course, a lot of people know him for his role as Harry Doyle in the Major League Baseball movies. On top of that, multiple pop culture appearances with him, and I believe in Mr. Belvedere, I believe the show was in the 80s, well before our time, but still very impactful in his career. But I definitely remember when my brother DJ was living in Wisconsin, and the times that we'd make the trips and we'd turn on Brewers games, and there he was, just a great voice, and sadly lost just at the age of 90. Bob Uecker passed away here this week, and that's going to do it for Shield Shoutouts.
The 5-year anniversary of Shield Shoutouts here on the show. Well done, as always.
Thanks, sir.
Voldy. And yes, we thank the zoners, especially people who watched earlier, watched later, who just jumped in. Thank you as well. And you know the deal, guys. We got new logo for our 5-year. Yes, this isn't the finished version, but
nope.
It's we're getting there. But just to give you an idea what it's going to look like, we're going to work out merch, things like that. So final one will be coming soon, and we will let you know. So that's what we got. And you know the deal. I'll try to go quick here since we got to wrap things up. But congratulations to our MinneZona Pick'em, Mikey Lawrence, Mikey Ryan, and Tyler Herman. Mini helmets coming your way. So congratulations. And guys, if you want to join Pick'em next year, let me know. We'll add you. Go from there. So especially for the guys we don't know. RJ, you're our guy, man. We love you. We don't know you, but hey, you joined Pick'em. That's awesome. All right, you guys know the deal. Sweatpants, shirts, stickers, hats. We've got it all, guys. We got the quarter zips still available. We've got the winter caps. We got the mugs as well. The whole deal. I mean, it's just there's so many cool things. Let us know if you like some. We'll get them to you. Thank you to National Fleet Graphic, Crown Rental, Tyler Knutson. Make sure you check out our guy, Will Rattel, W2 Performance, at www.w2performance.com. Make sure you check him out. The Brotherly Ballers podcast shouts out to our guys Tyler Herman and Jack Vickers, also doing some awesome stuff. And just winning everything, literally.
Literally.
They're just winning. I don't know how, but they are. Shout out to our guy TLS, or shout out to our guy Troy Stoudemire, our TLS Performance. He's got stuff happening. We'll try to get him on again. That was a lot of fun last time. We got to get him on here. Popcorn Bucket List, Nick Dahlhoff, Ryan Meyerberg, the Rhino, our guy. Omni Entertainment, they've probably got some new stuff coming your way, and crossover maybe coming in the summer. Just saying. We'll see what happens. So, and again, as we wrap this up, thank you to all who voted. Congratulations to Double Trouble on winning Best Guest, 3-time award winners as well. I forgot to get to Nick here. He did have a comment. I totally missed it. He said, sorry to go against the majority, but actually I want to see the three-peat with Kansas City. If I can't see the Vikings win, I want to see history to be made. Nick,
and I'm not going to be mad if they win. Yeah.
I agree with you.
It's annoying.
I've agreed with you on many things, but this I cannot agree with you on. They need to be beaten. They can win it some other time. That's fine. Just not this year. I'm done. But that's it. That is what it is. But again, guys, thank you again. This has been fantastic. I've been getting texts left and right and whatnot. And actually, I just got a snap from Double Trouble. They are ecstatic. Toner says, that's what I'm talking about. And they're ready to roll, man. So we'll get them on. I'll talk with them. And we got to get a speech or something. I don't know. Well, we'll see what happens.
Yes, that is the prerequisite. You come on the show, you got to do your acceptance speech.
I like it. Let's do it. All right. Well, guys, we'll be back next week. We'll have some more fun, have some things going. Season 6. We're starting next week. So hard to believe. So without further ado, on our 5th anniversary show, we say, folks, keep in the zone.
Holla.
Thank you for watching MinneZona Sports Live. Join us Wednesdays at 7 p.m. for live show broadcast. And as Voldy likes to say, follow us on all the socials medias.